The Louisiana Restaurant Association presents the We Live to Eat podcast. It is said in Louisiana that a great deal of our culture revolves around food. The We Live to Eat podcast will explore Louisiana's restaurant industry one episode at a time. Laissez les bon temps rouler.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to We Live to Eat podcast, the official podcast for the Louisiana Restaurant Association. I have with me two very special guests with me. This is the first time I've had two guests on the podcast, so I'm very excited. They're both managers for Gillis's Grocery Cafe as well as Gillis's Meat Market. Please help me welcome Kevin Daigrepont and Tyler Griffin. Hello, how are you?
Good. Yeah, you did pretty good on the last name for Kevin Daigrepont.
I had asked Tyler what it was on the last second because the one thing I don't want to do is mispronounce anyone's name because I'm going to feel terrible throughout the rest of the episode. Thank you so much for joining me. I know we had some trouble in the beginning of this year to get you guys on board to do this with your schedule, so I just very much appreciate actually getting to do this.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you for taking the time. I want to kind of start off at kind of the beginning of your guys' careers in the restaurant industry and the hospitality industry, and just kind of give me a rundown of how this all started for you.
So for me specifically, like we had said before the podcast started, I've been with Gillis Grocery for about 4 years now. Prior to that, I'd worked as a sales associate / like assistant manager for AT&T.
Okay.
So I got a very, very introduction to sales and sales quotas and numbers and all of these things kind of thrown at me at a very quick rate. Quincy is where the store was located at, and it was a very small demographic. So kind of every sale, every person, every interaction was had to be very intentional. And so for me, that being my first job, and then the Lord opening doors that kind of opened up the store here, which I'm beyond thankful for. Just kind of took some of that I had from there and kind of understanding of sales and how every customer matters and every interaction matters and every meal that we put on somebody's plate, whether it's something they take home or whether it's something that they get that they can prepare at their house. Like every interaction, every customer, every transaction is beyond intentional in our, in my mind and also in his as well. Mm-hmm. So sales isn't just a transaction and money. It's also like, what impression can we leave to have somebody come with us and see us once again? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Kim?
Yeah, you don't have to say the last name again. My story is similar to his in the fact that I had zero food experience prior to coming here. I worked at Red River Bank as a data analyst, and I was sat at a desk all day long playing on the computer.
Right.
And so I was in no fit physically for this job because it's very physically demanding. But maybe I was a little prepared mentally for it. But no, I jumped in with the opportunity that arose after Hurricane Laura. So we're brother-in-laws, both married into the family, and after the hurricane, we were living in Alexandria at the time, and we kept coming down here every weekend when I get off of work. Me and my wife, or sometimes just me by myself with an SUV full of supplies, and we would come help. And so one thing led to another of working alongside my mother-in-law and father-in-law before Tyler had come into the family. I started helping, and the idea came along of, well, we can come down here and just do this full time and help Steve and Donna Joe, the current owners, our in-laws, help them come up with a retirement plan. And so here we are.
Biggest thing is Steve and Donna have laid such a very proud legacy for these two businesses. Our biggest intention is just how can we either maintain it or excel it past that point. I mean, you ask, everybody in this area, and they, love each and every one of them, from doing things that they most definitely didn't have to during like hurricane relief and stuff like that, all the way to just the day-to-day stuff. They laid a very high bar, and so we try our best both daily and just in the grand scheme to try to keep that bar where it's at or raise it even higher.
Yeah.
Can you tell me if there's any main differences between managing the grocery and cafe compared to the meat market?
It's completely different. You want me to chime in?
Yeah, that's a huge question.
It's a huge question, and anybody that knows anything about a gas station, we're going to have some phone ringing in there in this podcast. But anybody that knows anything about a gas station and a convenience store, it's tough to American owned, veteran owned, and it's just tough. But the meat market is tough as well in its own way. The best way to answer it is he has to manage in the point of view of mentally thinking, okay, what's the best way to get through these days and manage the employees with a high turnover rate, and for me at the meat market, I may not have a high turnover rate, but it's physically demanding here.
Right.
So he's smart. I'm not. I'm strong. He's not.
It's funny saying you're not smart when you're just talking about you did data analysis for our bank before. One of the things that both the grocer and the meat market has in common, I would say, is that they're both part of the Southwest Louisiana Boudin Trail. For those people who may not know what that is, can you kind of give me a rundown of exactly what the Boudin Trail is?
The Boudin Trail is a lot of times for ways to raise awareness and funds, donations for different causes. The one most notably I can think of. Sorry, we're going to operate during a podcast and outside of podcast. That's the demanding part of this job. The most notable one that I can think of right now that we did recently was, I believe it was a woman by the name Susan, and it was a suicide awareness run.
Oh, okay.
And so and it was involving biker groups, and that would come through, and it's really cool hearing all the bikes running. And when I say bikes, motorcycles, running, the engines running and pulling into the parking lot all at one time, and then they come in and they pile in, and we give them free Boudin samples, and then they go to the next Boudin location. We're not the only one that's a part of it. It's a trail. That's why they call it a Boudin Trail of all the different Boudin locations. And some of our good friends are on there, some competitors and all that. It's just a really good thing to provide an opportunity to bring awareness and donations and whatever else that may be good for those type of awarenesses or causes.
How often does Boudin Trail do these events, these charity events? Is it a specific event every year, or is it whenever someone has the idea to do it, the whole trail kind of gets involved to kind of raise these funds?
It's a yearly annual thing, but there's different groups that will do it. We're a part of that one particular one that every year they come. And the best way I understand it is whenever somebody may say, I want to start up a Boudin Trail, we're on an official Boudin Trail list that I believe was created by, I don't know who it was created by. I thought I did. I had thought I did. But anyways, So it's just and most of the time an annual thing that happens. So in August we should have our next one for sure that we're a part of. That we'll be getting contacted by here pretty soon.
It's also more of it's a fundraising thing for the community, but it's also, would you say it's kind of something for tourists to come and do? Do you get a lot of tourists coming in to kind of try the Boudin Trail?
I think it's mostly just people in the area that are part of it. But the cool thing is we've had specific people come back and now are customers of ours that were part of the Boudin Trail that never would have tried our Boudin before, just because maybe they were not in their network or in their location geographically, and they now travel over here to get our Boudin. So that's the positive part for us being involved. But of course, we're running a business and trying to make profit,
Right.
But we also our hearts, like Tyler said in the beginning of it, is community. Being a small business in a smaller community, that's important to be together for other small businesses and our people in the community that are our customers every day, to get to know them and to help them, not just with food, but we may be the only smiling face they'll see for the day, and that's a big deal for some people that may not have positive things in their life, So,
Right.
DirecTV for Business National Accounts provides your customers the ultimate entertainment experience and the very best content. And becoming a national accounts client gives you the ultimate partner in curating that experience to your business's unique needs and brand standards across all locations nationwide. From exclusive live sports to real-time news and weather, premium content and consistent performance are just the beginning. With the largest support footprint in the industry, DirecTV for Business National Accounts provides a consultative experience like no other. Clients enjoy a relationship defined by white glove service with dedicated account and program managers to assist you every step of the way. From custom content recommendations that will keep your customers coming back to simplified and consolidated billing solutions, DirecTV for Business National Accounts provides proactive and responsive support, partnering with you to create a best-in-class experience for you and your customers. When you become a DirecTV for Business National Accounts client, you'll experience how ultimate entertainment and the power of strategic partnership empower you to create an unparalleled customer experience.
This is Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser. Satisfy your cravings with world-famous Louisiana seafood. All the flavors you love, prepared by our world-famous chefs, and fresh from our bountiful waters to your plate. So head over to your local favorite restaurant and be sure to ask for authentic Louisiana seafood. Brought to you by the Louisiana Restaurant Association and Louisiana Seafood Board. A perfect pair.
Not just anybody can make the perfect Sazerac. And not just anybody can offer Louisiana's hospitality industry the perfect workers' comp coverage. The Louisiana Restaurant Association's SIF team knows what hospitality businesses need. We truly care about your team's safety and your success. Everybody who's anybody goes with LRA workers' comp. Ask around. In this business, word of mouth is everything.
We're talking about small businesses and community. One of the things that Gillis does is they host a farmers market. Tell me a little bit about that and how long that's been going on.
So the farmers markets, I'd say we're probably either approaching or at probably the year and a half mark.
So it's new. Okay.
So it's not new. It's new enough where we're still kind of new to people hearing of it, but we're still.
Okay.
So we've been long enough to realize the many flaws we had from the beginning. But I'm proud to say, specifically going into this month, the third Saturday, we'll be hosting our second annual car show.
Yes.
This is what we kind of call the quote unquote big event for us every year. Anything from probably we're anticipating 100 plus cars.
Oh wow!
All the way to there'll be a blood drive there. There'll be food trucks. Okay. There'll be Dead Pedal Coffee Company from Moss Bluff will be serving free coffee. Just a very big. Let's bring the whole community together. Let's have a family-friendly, family-safe get-together where on top of all of those good things, we have, 40, 50 booths that are all these locally, people that make honey and jams and jellies and home decor and all these different things that you may not be exposed to outside of just a natural, either Facebook or naturally just going to something like this. Like this would be a place to kind of put all these really, really cool things together in one spot. And so we're, we're excited, we're encouraged, we're ready. I'm excited. Right. I'm just waiting for us to get to the calendar day where it says, hey, this is Saturday, game on,
Yeah. And I might add, we are having to do it this month, the third Saturday, but anybody that's listening, the Gillis Trade Days, the monthly event is always on the second Saturday of the month, with the exception of when we do our car show, we may accommodate the car show and mash them together.
All in all, it pulls back into the whole thing of like our goal and all things we do is how can we pull the community together and strengthen the community and whatever cost that comes at.
It's a way to give back to community by holding a community event.
Who came up with the idea to do a card show in the first place?
And just to make sure, because I've gotten confused with Tyler, because Tyler is involved with CARD card shows. We're a CAR, classic car show. I want to make sure. Yes. Okay. Yeah. But it was my idea because growing up with my dad, he's a gearhead, a very good mechanic, and but he's always been involved with muscle cars. His dad had a 1969 GT350 Shelby Mustang, and then my dad has a 1970 Dodge Challenger. Right. And he will be here. My mom has a newer Corvette, a 2019, I believe, a Stingray Corvette. And so I've always been around that, and I plan on having my own toy once I get past raising 3 kids in the business. So, but it was my idea. Now, I think collectively, me, Tyler, and Steve, our father-in-law, had the idea of doing a farmer's market or trade days on some property we bought next to the meat market. But it was my idea to do a car show, and it's been fun. This is our second annual car show, but this is our third car event. Yeah. We did a car show and shine. There's a difference between show and shine and a car show,
which I learned recently.
Yeah. So show and shine typically is just once every now and then guys show up, or it could be monthly. They show up and have coffee or something like that together. The car show is
trophies.
That's right. Yeah.
Judges.
Yeah. So we will be judging and handing out top 10 trophies. So the best,
not even like 10. Cheap trophies, like fancy.
And the car show is going to be March 21st?
March 21st, starting at 9 a.m. and lasting to 1 p.m. And we just added something to it. I haven't even made a post about this, so this will be the official announcement. We started bulling crawfish a few weeks ago, and we were debating on whether or not we were going to bull crawfish during the car show. And we have some really good friends, Sean Cormier and another guy named Derek. We call him Crabber. And he's I think he got the name because his family crabs, but anyways, they're going to help us out. So they're going to bull crawfish, and we're going to serve it at the car show. So it's going to be another exciting additive to our community event.
An announcement on the LRA podcast. How about that?
Well, depending on when this goes out, you may have already posted it already.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because I do need to post it soon.
I was curious, since Gillis has both the grocer and the meat market. I'm curious, which one came first, and what necessitated the other?
You want me to chime in, because I do know the answer?
Yeah, you know.
Steve and Donna Joe, our father-in-law, had opened up the gas station. Well, they leased it first from a relative, and then they bought it in 97 or 98. And I believe it was in 99 that my father-in-law was making Boudin, or he was not making Boudin. He was selling Boudin made from somebody else, and it was very inconsistent. He didn't like the being inconsistent when he's selling something out of his store. So he opened up a meat market by leasing a small little building behind the gas station, and that turned into making his own Boudin, and that turned into processing deer, and then it turned into cutting fresh steaks and roast and pork chops and pork steaks and putting that in the gas station. Then it turned into, let's build us a meat market. So in 2005, right after Hurricane Rita, I believe, they opened up the building that we're in right now, the meat market. And it's it's 2 lots down from the gas station. So there is a property owned by somebody else in the middle. So so we make all of our boudin, we make all of our sausage, and we make a few other things for the store, and we use the store as a front to sell it, and then he also makes a few things over there too as well. That's solely the gas station's responsibility or product, but it's all together though. And family owned business, small business, you got a gas station, meat market. It all funneled down to the same thing.
I will add this. He works like hand in hand with Steve, so he gets a history lesson like 3 times a day. I don't.
Yeah,
so that's why he knows this.
Well, yeah,
I'm just saying.
That's right. Yeah, no fault of Tyler. I've just heard the story 50 times each day.
Yeah, at least 50 times a day. I'm sure.
What are some of the things that the gas station makes that's separate from the meat market?
So I'd say probably start off with the heavy hitter more than anything. Me and Steve went to a restaurant which will not be named, and we were on the appetizer menu, and a breaded chicken breast cut into like tenders popped up, and we took it. And I said, Steve, every once in a while when you meet somebody and you learn the kind of the culinary, like all things food, you kind of realize like, man, this is good, but I can do it better, And so we got it from this no-named restaurant, and I was like, let's just see if we can get like a sample size. And we spent probably 2 to 3 months, and we just kept tinkering with it and we kept saying, hey, Kevin, you try this, or Don or Joe, you try this, or Steve, you try this. And I'd say about 3 months in, we got a product that I felt like across the board, all of us was very, very, very proud with. We even went to the local KPLC TV for their midday show about 6 months ago, and we're trying to get them to eat everything else, but they like wipe the plate out of these duck tenders. That along with anything from like shrimp po' boys to burgers to our own like kind of line of not our own line of chicken, but like we have our own type of chicken that we make ourselves. We bread ourselves, we season ourselves, along with some other things. I don't know if there's anything you can think that I'm possibly missing. There's probably some things I'm missing, but
we sell this at both locations, but chicken cracklings,
that too
is a big hit.
Fried ribs, like I said, I don't know how long we.
Yeah, but
we can be here all day.
The thing that the boudin is going to be our most popular, probably well-known item that we're known for. Our sausage being second best, but. First best is Southwest Louisiana, second best for us. But but the boudin balls, we make boudin balls that, to me, and I'm not being biased because it's my father-in-law's recipe, are the best boudin balls that I've ever had. And the reason why is because the specific breading that he uses. Obviously the root of it comes from the best boudin in Southwest Louisiana, but the breading is. The breading though is just excellent. It crisps up very well. It gets a little dark, but it's not to be confused with an overcooked boudin ball. It is just the perfect crunch. Especially the pepper jack cheese and jalapeno boudin balls. When you bite into it, that cheese melts in your mouth. It's just really good. So,
with you two entering into this new culinary space, that's much different from the jobs you had before. Getting into this kind of industry, you've probably ended up learning eventually about the LRA. Tell me about your experiences with the LRA when you joined into this now family business.
That's a good one.
There's a question.
I'd say to me, I have been very heavy since joining kind of the family business. And Kevin's done a really good job lately, especially. And I hate to give him credit. I'll give him credit every once in a while, especially when we're being.
I got to make a note of this.
Yeah. I put a very big preface and a very big importance on social media and all of the things that whether it be influencers, whether it be just meeting other people and attaching your following to their following or collaboration. I think that for me at least. The people that the LRA has just naturally allowed us to meet versus like us maybe just coincidentally bumping into some people. Like I said, you had Blakely on there last time. Like he's been a very nice asset to us. His company that actually does like hood vent cleaning has now started servicing both of our locations.
Okay.
I'm hoping you get him one day, but Gus with Area 337 in downtown Lake Charles, I don't know if you ever had him on the podcast. Fantastic guy. You know, meet people like that, meet people, you know, a bunch of people from all around the area. You know, there hasn't been any transactional benefits, obviously, but, you know, I think networking is very undermined in the business world. And I think that the LRA has helped open up our minds to a lot of things of like, hey, we might actually get to meet some people that, you know, this may be either short-term benefit for the both of us, or this may be long-term benefit for the both of us. And like I said, it was just convenient that Blakely, you know, so that there has been some form of a transaction done between us now. And we've been able to, you know, benefit mutually from this, you know, meeting. Like I said, it was just a random meeting. I don't remember, where was it at? Where was it? Shucks in Lake Charles.
That's the first time.
We met him there, shook his hands, and then slowly but surely, you know, we've created a friendship. And then again, and now there's a form of business that has now been attached to that. So to me, you know, along with, like I said, so many hands we've shaken, so much information we've been given through, you know, whether it be like workers' comp or different types of all kinds of just like information.
Well, and it's like, I'll think of a scenario that may be worth it altogether. We would stress out a lot about our hours for minors when we would hire minors, of keeping them under certain regulations that had, I don't know how long ago, but probably I would guess several years ago, was not even a thing anymore. And so we learned by communication with LRA that we did not have to stress and worry about this anymore. And we still maintain, for the most part, the same procedures that we have with minors, just out of respect for them and being in school and all that. But now, like if somebody goes over an hour that was a problem before, it's not a problem now. It's less stress on us as managing the business. So LRA has done a good job of communicating certain things, because I feel like a lot of times when we fall short, or people fall short in general running a business, is all based down to communication. Was the communication properly handled from the manager down to all employees? But did the manager get the proper communication and information from all the way up to state regulations or food safety regulations? You know, so I think that's important. But if you don't know, you don't know. You don't. So you can't do something you don't know. So this is helping us know.
The thing is too, like, you know, because it seems like I don't believe we have, I think, is it called a chapter? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Like we don't have a chapter here, but we're all working actively to try to get a chapter in Southwest Louisiana. But like, you know, when you go from small town to, like, to me, it's really cool that, like, we had state legislative at the last meeting, you know, like you get to see the large scale, you get to get information that you wouldn't have just got through naturally scrolling on Facebook or anything. You get to actually shake their hands, get information that you wouldn't have got elsewhere, you know, and some other path of information, you know, being retrieved yourself. And so, you know, like I remember who the legislative was, but like, it was information I don't think I ever heard, you know, having not been at this meeting or not, you know, having been involved in the LRA.
Yeah, it was good.
Well, since you guys are both in this now family business, have you ever thought about kind of setting aside the future for maybe your kids to take over in the years to come? Is that something that ever crossed your mind?
Yeah.
So for me, my son is like an active, like, runner, and he's only 2 years old. It's like mentally, I'm already planning for him to be in the NFL. So like I can't even think of anything other than.
Tell him what his name is.
His name's Madden, so it's kind of funny. Like, it's the name of the video game.
Right.
But he's got a bunch of kids, so he probably has more on that thought. Like I said, I'm fresh into parenting. I'm still learning so much. So, you know, do I hope though that the future holds, you know, the family business staying alive and that whole aspect? I do strongly say that away.
Yeah.
He probably has had a little bit more thought than I have into that.
Yeah. I mean, we're considered second generation, even though we're married into and we're son-in-laws. It's second generation. Our spouses, the daughters of Steve Dondo, are very interested and sentimental about this business. They just have other talents that they're using right now in the education department. But for me, I would love to see a third generation come in, because this is
very unheard of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and especially just American-owned small businesses are important for America, and important for small communities. And I say it right now because I'm only 5 years in, but I may hate this in another 5 years, and I may not wish this on anybody. but no, I would love to see my kids grow interested in it without forcing them, though. I don't want to force them to do something that they won't do, because then that third generation is not going to be good for this baby that Steve Godet and Donna Jo Godet have created, So,
well, as we begin to wrap up, I wanted to ask you guys, since you're talking about the next generation in the future, what do you think the future looks like for you two and for the Gillis market and grocery? I mean, you have the car show happening, you have the farmers market happening, but what does the future look like down the road?
You got some good questions.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you should have emailed these before. Well, I would say real quick, and then I want you to chime in too. But I would say things are a lot different than they were 30 years ago.
5 years ago.
5 years ago, post COVID, we're that's a thing post COVID, and so things are a lot different on how to be a profitable small business here in the Louisiana and America. And so what worked then is different now, and all the way down to local things. So we used to have a road that was not a very good road. That was a different direction than the Gillis Grocery Cafe and Gillis Meat Market. Well, they improved that road, so a lot of traffic goes there now. So we have less traffic here than we did before.
Right.
So there's that. There's a local change, and then you have the I guess global changes, the larger scale changes that has happened back to the post-COVID comment. But what worked then doesn't mean it's going to work now. But we're not going to change recipes. We're not going to change the foundation of Gillis Meat Market and Gillis Grocery being everything that Steve and Donna Jo have built. But we may make some small changes that add to it. So we started these little small things. I'm going to call small things because they're not very big projects compared to what we're wanting to do. So Gillis Trade Days and Card Show. But our Boudin sales have gone down since people, quote unquote, fund money is not the same as what it used to be. Money's tight. You don't have to have Boudin to survive. You need to have other things to survive. So Boudin is a luxury. So how can we get that back up? How can we get Boudin sales back up? Well, Tyler is very much familiar with shipping because he does that on the side. So we're discussing internally about shipping, because especially with our larger social media footprint, we get asked probably, I would say 50 to 60% more than we used to, maybe even more than that.
1,000%.
Yeah, we get asked all the time now, can y'all ship? Can y'all ship? Because there's other people that want to experience the culture of Louisiana that we have, the Cajun cuisine that we create, or that Steve Godet has made, that we're keeping his recipes alive. So we have to be open-minded, but careful not to change everything that he's worked hard for, but grow it. So what are we going to add to it to grow it?
Right.
Yeah, I would say that to me, whether it be financial or whether it be any aspect of the business, to me we should always be improving. Whether that means just kind of adapting to the times. I do believe that right now we just live in a very post-COVID world, which means people are very adapted to how can I get it to me at the most convenience, at the most little. Let me do the least amount of work to get said product to me. So we, like he said, he says 300%. I say 7,500% of just interest in shipping has become a very, very like high. Whether you want to say project or whether you just say like it just keeps kind of like
it just keeps coming back.
It just keeps coming back. I don't know if I'm going to say fortunately or unfortunately. I have done like reselling in some categories, just like a little side hustle for side money. Yeah. Have I probably shipped over 10,000 items in the last 5 years? Yes. Is that me just saying I'm tired? Yes. But it's definitely a nice thing to kind of have in my back pocket that we could possibly implement. Once we figure out legalities and, hey, how does this look short-term, long-term? I do think that my heart is the Boudin that we know and love, and the Boudin that Southwest Louisiana knows and loves. How can we get it to those who may have lived in South Louisiana, but say the hurricane hits and they live in Houston now, or Dallas, or Fort Worth, or they went the other way and they went to Alabama, or they went to Florida, or whatever. How can we kind of bring home back to them with a side order of convenience?
Right.
And that's just the way the world's going. Social media is the big thing. Shipping is the big thing. Sitting on my couch and ordering some Boudin is the big thing. So how can we as Gillis Grocery and Gillis Meat Market adapt to those times and enter ourselves into that conversation, ourselves into that pool? Like how can we? Because I promise there's other meat markets around even this area that are shipping. Yeah. So there's no reason we shouldn't be in that same conversation or that same business model. Right. Mm-hmm. And so that it's almost being forced to become important to us. Just so much, especially for Facebook. So every second, once a day, hey, are you shipping yet? Hey, are you shipping yet? I'm like, we're working on it, y'all. We're working on it. I promise. And so, like I said, it's how can we not only take care of the community around us, but again, how can we possibly expand the community outside of this area and outside of these doors? Yeah. And so, yeah.
And he made me think about one of the points he made of somebody that got relocated and misses home and bring it home back to him. Mm-hmm. We do have a lot of people that may not necessarily mention shipping, but they will say on our Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, I miss this place, or I miss the Boudin from Gillis Meat Market, and it's because they got relocated or had to move.
How heavy of a Houston, not fan base, but how much of a Houston, people from Houston currently, at least somehow, some way they got there, are in love with our Boudin. Yeah. How do we get it to them outside of building another location, which I don't think that happens.
No, I don't know if I want to do that. But I would like to see a location on the interstate, but probably in Louisiana.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come and talk to me. It's been fantastic. I very much appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
I'm glad we broke barriers. You had two people.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Hopefully I can do that more often now. And thank you, everyone, for listening on this episode. And make sure to tune in next time for another fantastic episode of the We Live to Eat podcast.
Thank you for listening to the Louisiana Restaurant Association's We Live to Eat podcast. Please join us for future podcasts where we'll discuss restaurants, food, and culture in the state where we live to eat. Until then, bon appetit.